GOP Senator and alleged moderate Lisa Murkowski said on Tuesday that despite her vote for Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill, which is more of a murder bill, and passed largely due to a party line vote, it's 51-50. She is now saying, boy, I hope the House doesn't pass this. Wait, what? Now, Murkowski, here's what she told reporters. Quote, my hope is that the House is going to look at this and recognize that we're not there yet. Oh, we're not there yet, you say. Oh, then why the hell did you punt it to the other chamber? Why did you vote for it? You voted for a bill that literally guts Medicaid and food stamps, boots 16 million Americans off of their health care in order to cut taxes for rich people, and to make ICE the most well-funded law enforcement organization in our country. You did that. But, we're not there yet, she says. We're not there yet. Really? What's going to change your mind? Well, actually, nothing changed your mind because you still voted for it. So what are you even talking about? What are you even talking about? Look, this right here is why moderates and so-called centrists are really just fascist enablers. They enable fascism. I mean, here she is. She said, "Oh my God, I had reservations about this bill, and it's really bad. But you know what? I couldn't just kill it. Why? Why not? It was a disaster. What are you talking about?" Oh, well, look, yes, it's a disaster for regular people, but you know what? For my donors, it's going to be great. Rich people are going to save so much money in taxes. And I think that's pretty much her motivation here. I mean, look, she told reporters, quote, there's a tax impact coming forward that's going to hurt the people in my state. Well, the bill is going to hurt people in her state. Not voting for the bill, that's going to hurt her donors. And here's how, okay? According to an analysis from the Yale Budget Lab, the bottom 20% of earners will see, if this passes, a nearly 3% decline in their income, or about $700. So if you're in the bottom 20% and you're losing $700, that is huge. That is a lot of money. That'll make the difference. And that's under the Senate version, which she voted for. Now, in that same version, the top 1% would see a nearly 2% increase in their yearly income, or about $30,000 a year. Remember, there are people, a lot of people in this country right now, almost half of the population, that make around $30,000 a year. So, and that's how much rich people are going to save in their taxes, while average people, those other people, are going to lose $700. So, I mean, of course, the question then is, well, who does Lisa Murkowski work for? She works for the rich, obviously. Now, that said, Suzanne Collins, Tom Tillis, here's a shocker. They actually voted the right way and for what seems like the right reasons. Yeah. Collins pointed out that the cuts to Medicaid would jeopardize healthcare access for hundreds of thousands of people in her state while threatening rural hospitals. Yes, correct. Tillis, by the way, who's no longer running for re-election, so he is unchained, untethered, right? He said the bill strips Medicaid coverage from over 600,000 North Carolinians, and that's why he voted against it. And so, again, he is untethered. And so he's like, yeah, this hurts poor people in our state. I can't vote for that. Wow. Now, look, I cannot, I may not agree with those two on a lot of issues, right? But I got to be honest, they actually did show a little bit of backbone, a little bit of courage. Unlike Lisa Murkowski, who continues to prove over and over again that most of the moderates here, all they do is is help enable fascism. Again, this bill gives billions of dollars to ICE which allows them to continue abducting people off the street and throw them into either concentration camps or just ship them off to CCA. Look, Alligator Alcatraz was literally built in 8 days, okay, and will cost $450 million a year. Can you imagine how many people we could actually feed with that? How many people we could feed? Or give healthcare to, right? Or house. But no. It's going to be used to send migrants, many of whom haven't been convicted or even accused of a violent crime, to a camp in the middle of a swamp, a concentration camp. This is what Lisa Murkowski voted for. This is what nearly all of the Republicans voted for. The final vote was 51-50, thanks to J.D. Vance and his tie-breaking vote. Yet Mr. Hillbilly Elegy himself was like, screw hillbillies. Screw the rednecks. I'm going to vote against him and help the rich. Well, that's because he's funded by Peter Thiel. Well, guys, maybe it won't pass the House because of these changes. Maybe they'll send it back and they'll strip out some of the worst provisions. Oh, come on. No. Look, in the House of Representatives, Democrats have an even smaller minority there now than they did before. Even at the beginning of the year, after the elections. Yes, they had a minority, and then it got worse. How did it get worse? Because Democrats kept dying, literally dying. 3 of their House members died in office this year. Why? Because of their old age. Because they have a gerontocracy problem. And yet the Democratic establishment had fought tooth and nail against its younger members. They kicked out David Hogg from DNC leadership for daring to challenge their older members, the do-nothing Democrats. And so there you go. They're going to war with Zoran Mamdani, the 33-year-old Democratic socialist who beat Andrew Cuomo in the New York City mayoral primary. Democratic leadership, they would rather ally themselves with Donald Trump, who keeps threatening to arrest Mamdani, strip him of citizenship, and have him deported, than line up behind him. You have, so far, New York's Democratic Governor Kathy Hochul. You have Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer and House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries. They have not yet supported publicly Mamdani. They just won't. They won't do it. Gillibrand, of course, Kirsten Gillibrand, definitely in supporting him. And, the reason, of course, the big reason, really, I think, is because of the donors. The donors do not like Mamdani because guess what? They might actually have to pay a little bit more in taxes. Okay? And so, of course, they're going to line up behind people who will allow this horrific murder bill to go forward, to pass. And then, of course, a lot of these corporate Democrats are thinking, okay, not only are my donors going to get massive tax cuts, but we're going to be able to rail against it, and maybe do some midterm wins. And then if we do, we're still not actually going to restore tax rates for the rich. Are you kidding me? No, we're not going to do any of that. And we're certainly not going to help average, working class Americans. No, we're not going to do that. But we're going to be able to get a little bit of power back. And that's really the plan. Really? That's really it. And by the way, one unnamed donor, speaking to The Hill, said, quote, and this is of Mamdani, okay? Quote, if this is what our party represents right now, I don't want to be a part of this party. That is a Democrat donor. That same one said it's disgusting, and it's why we're in the position we're in. And that's after Mamdani won. Okay. And this guy, he ran on affordability for working class New Yorkers. And the donors are having an absolute meltdown. Another unnamed donor And the Democratic side said, I don't know who we are anymore. Well, I know. I know who you are. You are fascism enablers. You enable fascism. And let's be very, very clear. What got us here is coddling fascists. This is why we're in the position that we're in. Okay? That's it. It's not because of the left. It's not because of the left, who has no institutional power. None. No. The reason we are in the position that we're in is because we have coddled, as a society, fascists. It's not the left that points out how big corporate and Republican donor money funds Trump and those who are paid to not to stand up against Donald Trump on the Democratic side. And that's the reality of the situation. We are here because of the donors. And this is why we are going to get this big, nasty murder bill shoved down all of our throats. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.